a very warm welcome to the beginning of the first season of Icons of the UAE. I am Shruti, your host for the season. While the world watches, we intend to inspire you with some fascinating business stories of our today's times. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome the first guest of the show today, Mr. Yogesh Mehta.
My dreams were very big. I believe that I will be very successful. I had the ignorance of youth, I had the energy of youth, but I had this one thing, I had ambition. I have seen those very dark days of failure despite my best efforts to come out successful. For me, it was very important to succeed, and you can only succeed if you have a plan. Even to come to Dubai with no money and just on a hope and a prayer that I'll come here and I'll make it happen. So the belief, the optimism is very important. We opened this company in 1995 and we decided one thing. We want to create a state-of-the-art bulk storage terminal where we store chemicals. And we grew this company steadily, step by step, and made it what it is today.
This Harvard alumni has not only steered his own company to a billion-dollar success story, but has also contributed significantly to the UAE's economic growth. From his early days in the industry to becoming a pioneer, Mr. Mehta is truly a force to reckon with. Please welcome Mr. Yogesh Mehta, icon of the UAE. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
I'm very happy to be here too.
Now, before we get into the billion-dollar journey of yours, let's go back where it all started.
Oh, it was very, very humble beginning, and I never knew where I would end at that time. Life was small, but life was beautiful then too. I studied in Bombay. I lived, born, brought up. I did everything in Bombay, got married in Bombay. And it was a very, very unusual life for me because I was trying to do some business. That business did not work. I was very educated, I thought, but I didn't have the sense to make money. So it was a little confusing those early years until I decided to come to Dubai. So I must say that I never expected that my life will evolve in such a dynamic way at that time.
So like you mentioned that in initial time, you were trying a few things and that did not work out. Still, you decided to take the plunge and come to Dubai. What made you do that?
वो कहते हैं ना कि मरता क्या करता. So there was a time in my life that I was penniless and I had played every trick in the book, doing small business in Bombay, in India, and it was very difficult times. I had failed, and I feel that I was failing every time I made an attempt to make money or to do business. My friend came from Dubai at that time and he said, "What has happened? You're such an educated man, you have a family." I had a son by this time and I had absolutely no money. And he said, "Why don't you come to Dubai and try your luck?" And I said, "Dubai?" He said, "Well, do you have a choice?" And he said, "I have a flat, it's empty. Come and see, try your luck." So that's how I gradually decided that I said, "Okay, what to do? I'll come to Dubai."
So what are the key learnings that you take home from that experience in Bombay?
Well, really what helped me was the youth.
Okay.
And the youth has a lot of ignorance. And the youth has a lot of energy.
And ego?
Ego, of course. Who wants to fail?
Yeah.
And I had a girlfriend that time who is now my wife of 40 years. And she believed in me. And she said, no, today is a bad day, but tomorrow you'll be fine. And I had the ignorance of youth. I had the energy of youth. But I had this one thing. I had ambition. And I wanted to be rich. I wanted to be successful. But I just didn't know how. I have seen those very dark days of failure despite my best efforts to come out successful.
So then from Mumbai you came to Dubai, but you stuck to the same industry. What made you do that?
Well, did I know anything else? I trained as a chemist, and my father or my family business was that of chemicals, though I did something very different. Chemicals is a large industry, but I didn't want to do manufacturing. I wanted to do trading. I feel that I am a born salesman. So I wanted to be in front of the buyer or seller rather than be in a factory or in a manufacturing background. But it definitely had to be chemicals because that was my field of experience. So I came here to Dubai, and the first thing I did is I went to the library. And at that time, there was no internet, there was no mobile phones.
Which year was this when you
This
came
was
to?
in 1990.
Okay, 1990 you came to Dubai.
1990.
Fascinating.
I went to the library, and Dubai has a great library. And I wanted to find out what chemicals come to Dubai or the UAE, and what can you export and what can you import. So with the management background that I had, I created a financial file which I would present or wanted to present to a potential partner. And he or she would then decide whether this is going to make money or not. But I believed that the plans that I had, I knew would be very, very successful because Dubai was young at that time and there was a lot of opportunity.
So from there to $1 billion industry giant that you are today, what have been your turning points?
Well, for one, there has been a lot of luck.
Okay.
There is the standard cliche that we've done a lot of hard work. Hard work everybody does. And a person who pushes a handcart also does hard work. But hard work with application is very important. You can keep working from morning to night, and if you don't add any value, then you're there where you started. So for me, it was very important to succeed. And you can only succeed if you have a plan. You have to have a skill set. You need to know what you're doing. So I thought that if I did this business in that particular manner, with the necessary finance, I believe that I would succeed.
You made your own file and now you were approaching potential partners. How was that phase?
Oh, that's
How many people did you meet at that time? And did anyone turn you down, rather?
Many people turned me down. And it was pathetic at one point that even I started thinking, am I really good for this or not? And I would take this file with this person or that company. I was interviewed by very, very big giants and who saw me and say, well, we like your guts, but we don't like the content of your file. I think it's too ambitious. And I said, no, believe in me. This is what Dubai needs. This is what's going to happen. And I'm telling you, this is going to work.
You were ahead of your time.
I think so. As it turns out, I believe that I was. And when I found a partner, and I worked with that company for 4 years as a small partner, drawing a salary. Even he thought that I'm too fast. But I thought that this is my age, this is my stage of life, and that belief that I will be very successful.
We're going to get to that, but in the next segment. For now, it's time for us to take a short break. The journey of icons of the UAE has just begun. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere. Welcome back after the break. This is Icons of the UAE. I am Shruti and today we are in conversation with our first guest on the show, Mr. Yogesh Mehta. Before getting into the break, we spoke about your equation into a partnership where you were drawing a salary and the idea was yours.
Yes.
How was that working out for you?
Well, when you don't have money, you have to listen to somebody else and you have to accept the terms. But it was a partnership of I'm working, somebody's financing, which is fair, which is good to do. And it started in such a manner that the person, the company wanted to invest with me, and I wanted more and more investments because I wanted to run. I didn't want to walk. I wanted to run or fly. And the opportunities were such at that time in the business that we were investing more and more. Very terrible thing that happened was we had the Gulf War in 1990, in August, 1st August, Iraq invaded Kuwait. And we were here at that time. It was very, very difficult. People in the UAE were thinking of leaving because if Iraq invaded Kuwait, very soon it could do many other things and come near our territory. And people were trying to leave town. And I was just here with no money, just settling down and thinking what's going to happen. But at that time, my partner at that time said, are you thinking of going? And I said, I can't go. I owe people money. I'm here to make money. I have nowhere to go, actually. He said, very good. Then I'm telling you, this war will not last for too long. It'll end soon. This was him telling me that. And he said, why don't you invest more, buy some more chemicals, and the war will be over. People will not have imported, and there will be opportunities. And so we imported a lot of chemicals. The war ended in January, and by February, March, the whole country, UAE, was booming. and we had the right product at the right time. So sometimes, luck happens. People lose money in war. We made money during war. And that's the luck that I'm trying to tell you. And it was very opportune then.
Fantastic. So as you mentioned that from 1990s end and the beginning of 91, it kind of started working for you. Since then, how's been the journey? Where was that acceleration that happened in your career?
Well, I haven't looked back after that, and life has never been the same.
Okay.
It has been a roller coaster, but the roller coaster is still going and rising. There have been a few dips, but those dips are marginal. I feel that I have never had to look back after that because a lot of good things happened. The business took off, and I started finding my groove. And suddenly, when you do well, you get a lot of confidence in yourself. I then decided that now, let's raid the world. Let's open offices around the world. And I went to my then partner, and he said, look, I'm not doing any of this. You carry on if you want to. And I said, okay, I'm going to do this myself. And I found a British partner, and this was the year 1995. I found a British partner at that time, and him and I did a 50-50 partnership, and we opened Petrochem, this company that we're talking about today, which is a $2 billion company. And we opened this company in 1995, and we decided one thing: we want to create a state-of-the-art bulk storage terminal where we store chemicals. We want to open offices around the world. So we started doing those very, very small steps, which became bigger and bigger. We started with the first office in India, then in Singapore, then in Taiwan, then in London, then in Antwerp, then in United States, and it's all around the world. And the head office is in Dubai. And we grew this company steadily, step by step, and made it what it is today.
Fantastic. In the meantime, how was your equation with the partner? Because, you have tiffs, sometimes ups, sometimes downs, when you're working with another human who's got 50% say. How are you working with that?
So I got lucky because I found a partner who is almost like a brother to me. We understood each other very well. We had the same tastes. We love traveling, we love selling chemicals, we love the good life, we love the good food, and we are the same age. But 4 years ago, we decided that we should now part ways because his children were not into the business and my son was very much into the business. And we decided that let's slice this pie so that in future we don't have difficulties. So it was a happy parting. It was a mutually agreed parting. And he took over Europe and I took over the rest of the world. And today we are still brothers, we are still partners in the good part of life, but not in business.
Okay. Expanding, scaling any business from vision to putting it to, practical world. There are quite a few hits that you could have. Anything that you would like to mention?
Business has been very difficult. If you don't understand it, it can become very difficult. You're lending money, because when you sell product, you're lending money to somebody in some country. We were dealing in very dynamic countries like Yemen, like Iran, countries like Syria. And we had a dangerous time because it was politically, there was a lot of upheavals. And business from the Middle East is in these parts of the world which are still developing. So whilst we took the risk and reward path, there were so many risks that we have encountered. We believe that risks are part of our business. And they say nothing ventured, nothing gained. And we believe in that philosophy.
Any role models on the way, if you've had any?
Oh yes, I have had several, right from my childhood. And my cousin brother, who's 5 years older than me, I learned at first to rob his jeans. And then I learned how to appreciate life. He is an electronic engineer. I learned how to be ambitious, and he is such a charming man. And I learned all the good things of life from him when I was younger. And I always thought that I want to be as clever as he is.
So apart from the belief, how has your wife contributed in your success?
See, if she allowed me to travel guilt-free, that's a big thing. If she looked after our son, Rohan, that's a big thing because that took away a lot of pressure from me. And when I came here and I didn't have a job, I actually asked her to come to Dubai earlier than she would have. And I said, you work, because she had teachers, she had the Montessori teachers training certificate. So I said, you work, I'll keep the baby. And because I don't want to work for anybody. I never wanted to work as an employee. I wanted to do my own business. And I said, you work and you teach and bring some money. She came here, she took a job, and she was making 1,500 dirhams a month.
Wow.
And this was 1990. And I was keeping the baby, and I was doing the files, and I was doing all the information gathering. I was also meeting people. She would come back at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I would go and meet people in the evening and see whether I could make any contacts. It was tough, but she kept me going. And it takes two to tango. And if you are a good couple, good married couple together, well, one, you keep the marriage, and two, you probably make a life out of it.
So kind of safe to say that she was the backbone of your dream that you always had.
My ego doesn't allow me, but yes, this is true.
A partner in the office who understands and resonates with your vision, a partner at home who understands and resonates with your vision. It's very difficult and hard to come by.
True.
You indeed are very lucky, Mr. Mehta.
That is true. Yes, I must count my blessings.
Conversations are flowing, we're having fun. This is Icons of the UAE, but it's time for a short break. You're with us on Icons of the UAE. I'm Shruti, and with me today is Mr. Yogesh Mehta. Now we're going to dig deeper and get to know you on a personal level.
Oh my God.
First question, how do you unwind?
As I'm growing older, I'm learning to unwind, but otherwise life has been a very, very tight roller coaster and very difficult to unwind. But as I have aged and mellowed and matured with the age, I've found ways to unwind. And you can only unwind when you are a little relaxed and you feel that you've done enough. So I have now found new hobbies, and I play golf. I play some serious golf.
Okay.
And I collect music, I listen to music. And the other thing that has happened at my age is I'm gymming and I'm working out and I'm doing lots of yoga and exercises. So we travel, my family and I, we travel a lot. And now for pleasure rather than for work. And we just chill, go hiking, eat the good food, and just relax, as it were.
Like you said, for work you've traveled, now you travel for leisure, but you come back to Dubai. How's been this country for you?
So we have a family chat, and we all have a rule that I'm flying out, I'm on a plane to Paris, let's say, or I'm coming back. So I say I'm boarded the flight to Dubai. And then when we land here, so I always say, landed in paradise. And this is serious. And Dubai is paradise. And we are very comfortable with being here.
Any piece of wisdom that you'd like to pass on to the young Turks who are coming to the UAE now and trying to make a mark?
Times have changed. And we are now in the time of artificial intelligence, we're time of 3D technology. It's not easy. And it will not be easy for anybody who comes here. We need a certain level of education, a skill set, and lots of patience. You will not succeed immediately. Cost of living is very high, and there's a lot of competition. So those are the odds, but the will, the passion, the ambition, and the skill set will help.
How do you delegate? Is there anybody who takes care of your work in your absence? Is there anybody you trust? How does it work?
Oh yes, I have a variety of people. I have a team of people who are very, very hard taskmasters themselves, who are leaders in themselves. They are engineers, they are sales engineers. My CFO is a wonderful man. We have our shipping director who's huge. And the biggest one is our group commercial director who looks after sales and purchases of the company. I couldn't be anything without this team. And lastly, my son, who has now taken over since the last 10 years. And he provides a lot of inputs and a lot of young energy into the company. So I'm not alone anymore.
Talking about young energy, AI, new technology, that's become a part of every industry. Is there anything that Petrochem is doing for that?
Oh yes, we are investing. We have invested a few $1 million into AI.
Okay.
And it's not because it's fashionable to do so. It is the way of the future. If we don't invest in AI or the future of the internet, the IoT of things, so Internet of Things, as they say, we have to be ahead of the time. We have to be ahead of the curve. We have to gather intelligence. We have to gather history. We have to relate to the history. All this comes from being clever and one step ahead in AI.
So now we're going to get into some rapid fire questions for you. One book that has left a lasting impression on you.
I learned things from Fyodor Dostoevsky that has taught me how to be humble in life.
Your go-to comfort food.
Khichdi and shak, which is called vegetables and khichdi.
This is an interesting question. If you could travel back in time to any era, where would you go and why?
I would go to my teenage years.
Okay.
They were romantic, they were energetic, they were also foolish. So I like my teenage years.
What's the wallpaper on your phone?
Oh, my wallpaper has my son and my daughter-in-law and my 3 grandchildren. And behind that lurking is my lovely wife. And that's my wallpaper.
Okay, lastly, what is that one daily habit that you think sets you apart?
It is about waking up and thinking about the day forward and planning for that day. So I have 2 cups of tea in the morning, and it's not about having the cup of tea. It is about programming myself into how I'm going to lead the day. So it brings time management, but it also brings planning. If I'm going to a meeting, I need to be prepared. So there's a lot of preparedness if I sit and plan my day. I like to do that.
Fantastic. Any social causes that you support these days?
Well, we are building a temple in Abu Dhabi, and I am the vice chairman of that temple. We are building a huge temple. It's going to be the most iconic temple. I'm also a trustee there. So that is a social cause that I'm very close to, that social cause. I'm very happy to do that.
Any advice you'd like to give to young entrepreneurs who are up and coming?
Well, the first thing these entrepreneurs need, or anybody who's a startup, they need patience. Rome was not built in a day, and you must expect failures in your path. But the good trick that the young people should do is to follow a successful pattern and improvise on it. Be patient. You will fail, but you will then rise, and you will walk, you will run, you will fly. A lot of easiness will come from the UAE itself. The country is a great catalyst for young people because you have a great platform. You can open a company very quickly. The city and the country are very, very tolerant. The more important thing, there are a lot of opportunities here. You could have a cafeteria, or you could have a restaurant, or you could have a startup. And more people are now concentrating on future growth. There's growth around the region here also, not only in the UAE, but the entire Middle East is booming. But the UAE has the best platform for that growth. So if you are in UAE already, you've done half the job you have won, and there is more opportunities for you here than anywhere else.
So with that, we have come to the end of the first episode of Icons of the UAE, which was fueled by Mr. Mehta's incredible journey. Of course, we have learned today that we have to keep refining our dreams. Next episode, we're going to meet another icon with another inspiring story. Until next time, this is me, Shruti, signing off. You stay inspired and stay iconic.